In this demo, we will have a look at how to run our applications using a process manager. So first of all, we will look at what is the problem with running Node applications using just Node as usual. And in this case, I have a demo application, a simple Express application. We could have a look at that one. In this one, it's a really simple one. What we are doing is that we're using Express. We are listening for or reading an environment variable called port. If it's not set, then we go for the default port 3000. This is quite important when it comes to adding our applications to production, since when we are developing the application, we don't know on which port the one that is running this in production want to use. So in this case, we can specify that by an environment variable. I have a simple route for the root folder, and that is just hello world. I also have a special one that I just added to so that we can see the problem when an application is crashing. So I added that one to error like this. And then we start the application listening on the port specified, nothing fancy at all. So let's just run that one. We will install it first of all. I haven't installed it, so if I try to start it, it will just say that our application doesn't know what Express is since it's not installed. So if we look at package.json, we can see that first of all, I'm using the type module to specify that we're using ECMAScript modules in this case. I have a dependency called Express. I don't have any dev dependencies in this case, so how I install the application right now doesn't really make much of a difference, but we will try to do it the right way anyway. I've also a couple of scripts that is good to know. We have the start script. What this does is that sets an environment variable called node_env to production. So if I just run npm start, this one will be the one that is executed. And what this tells Node is to run this application in production. That means that not all dependencies are being used. It means that some dependencies, some packages might even run in a special mode, so that they are more optimized for a production environment. It might be that certain development logs aren't shown and things like that. When we develop, however, we can use, in this case, the start dev flag just to indicate that we want to run this in development mode instead. So when we are in production, this one, the npm start, is the one that will be used all the time. And I've made it so that we don't accidentally run the start dev in production. So by having start as the default one to production, we ensure that this will be executed in production as well. So, but we will come back to that later. So let's just install this, and since I'm on the production server, I will use the npm install and I will set this to production. This should be fairly quick, and yeah, and we're done. Let's see if we can start this now. So I'll just do an npm start. We see that the application starts. It's listening at port 3000 since we haven't said anything about that. Node_env is set to production. Of course, if I instead do an npm run start dev, then it's still port 3000. The node environment is set to development. Now if I would like to start this on another port, I can just specify the environment variable, set it to 5001 and do an npm start. Now we see that the example app is listening on port 5001 and node environment is set to production. So this is basically how we want to do this right now. But if I'm trying to like go to port, as you know, 5001, nothing will happen since that's not open. So we need to route this in Nginx in order to be able to reach this application. So let's do just that. And now we need to do sudo since we are in the Nginx configuration. What was it called? What's called CS Cloud, right? No. Oh, sorry. No. Let's see. CS Cloud, that one. Okay, so we had our CRUD application that we tried out last time. In this case, we will copy more or less this one. We can copy it all actually. Something like that. I will call this Express, and we can have it listen at 51, we said. Yep. And now that timed out. So let's save that one. Let's do a reload on that one. If I try this one now, of course nothing will happen since we will probably get a better gateway since the application isn't started. So let's just start the application once again on port 5001. Reload the page and cannot get Express. Maybe I need to... So what happened here is that, of course, Express or Node at least is answering this request since we're not getting a better gateway. We're getting this cannot get Express. And if we terminate Node, reload, then we see we get a bad gateway. So something is wrong in the routing in Express in this case. So let's see what we can do about that. If we look in the application, we can see that, okay, so we don't have a route that corresponds to Express since we are trying to reach this. So turns out that Nginx is actually just passing this request through to port 5001. However, of course, we could do something like this. Like that, and save that one, start the app again, reload the page, and it says hello world. Well, great. However, then we need to take into account the URL for this one on the application, on the production environment, and that is not a good thing. Of course, often we might have those applications running as subdomains instead, then it wouldn't be a problem. However, in this case it is a problem. So instead of fixing this using Node like I just did, we will go back to just, I mean, in our case, we want Node to see this as running, the only application running on this particular server. Save, and we edit the, let's see, where is it? We edit the config file once again. So the problem lies in this proxy pass. So this one will just pass the /express and add it to localhost in this case. However, by just adding a slash like that, we can fix that. So we start off by that, and we do a service reload, and we try that one now. Oh, well, start the server as well. And it says actually hello world. However, I guess if I do that, oh, we get a problem once again, since it says it's trying to get a double slash in this case. Simple solution for that is to edit this file and add a slash after Express as well. So if we do it like that, reload, start, now it says hello world on that URL, and on that URL it just passes it, notice that it's a folder and passes it onto this one. So now it's actually working. However, we have still another problem now. So I've started Node like this, and then for some reason, something wrong happens in our application. I simulate that by editing the arrow path. But I mean, this could be anything. It could be like a database that is too busy answering and the application crashes because of that. It could be that some kind of route will make something break, not trying if something is undefined before accessing a property or something like that. So we're simulating that by adding the error. And now we get a bad gateway. We can see what happened here. The application exited with exit status 1 that we told it to. And I mean, now our application is down. So every visitor from now on will just get this bad gateway. And this is not a good thing, of course, on a production server. So this is where a process manager enters the picture. So there are many different kind of process managers. We have like Forever, Supervisor, Strong Loop, Process Manager, and there are many different kinds of process managers. In this course, I will demonstrate Pm2. You are free to use whatever process manager you like, but Pm2 is quite a simple one and really, really powerful actually. So we will start off by installing this one. I will install Pm2 and I will install it globally in this case. So this one will work for every app on our server. This should go fairly quickly. Yep. Nope. Or no, that was the error from before. So using Pm2 is really, really simple. First of all, I have forgotten to tell you that if we look at the rights on this server right now, I've changed owner for the Express app to actually be the Ubuntu server. And that is so we don't need to run it as sudo and running it as root. That is not a good idea generally. So we are changing ownership of this one. I can do it on CRUD as well, just to show you the command. So we need to do sudo because we need to be root to do this. We want to change owner to Ubuntu on the CRUD application like that. And now the CRUD application is Ubuntu as well. So remember to do that before you start the applications. Okay, to start this application, we can do a simple Pm2 start. And what do we want to start? We want to start the app.js like that. Now we can see that the application has started. It's online and everything seems to work just fine. If I try to go to my Express application, it actually says bad gateway. Yeah, of course it says bad gateway. Why does it say bad gateway? Well, remember when I started Node, I started it on port 5001. In this case, when I just started the application like this, it started on the default port that is 3000. So let's just remove this one, delete 0. You can, when you work with this, you can enter the name, or you can just use the ID. Often it's quicker to use the ID. So now it stopped and we started again, but this one we add the environment variable port 5001 and Pm2 Start app.js. We could give this one a name as well by that _ name and Express app like that. I tend to often also add the port number on which I started this app since it's not visible in the list. So this becomes especially important if you have many applications running on the same server. Then it's easier to like know what to write in the Nginx and how to match the routes to the app. So we started like that. Reload this page, and fine, it's working. Now let's see what happens if we try to go to error, like that. Then it says a bad gateway, but if I go to that one, this one still works. So Pm2 list will give us a fresh view of this list, and then we can see that this one says that it has restarted twice now. So something has happened. Of course, we can check the logs. You can read up on how to access the logs if you like, or well, we can show it's quite simple. So if I just write Pm2 logs, we can see what has actually happened. I thought actually that we would get a error. In this case we did not see the error. Strange. Or do we? Maybe not in this one. Yeah, you can access the log by going to this file, and in this case we only see the 15 latest rows, so probably we can see all rows if we go into the file instead. You can also, I can show this one as well. There is a command called monit that will enter a monitor environment, so we can see in real time what is the usage, what is the logs. So if I were to reload this one, probably nothing will happen. However, if I go to error page, then we see that, oh, the app actually restarted. We didn't get the error here, but we can see that it restarted, and we need to consult the logs to see what went wrong. If we look at this, we can see that node env is set to undefined, and this is because we only specified a port when we started this one, and we started it using node and not npm. But since we have a start script that sets the environment in the correct way, we could actually use that start script instead. So I will actually go ahead and remove the one that I created, 0, like that, and then I will still start this on port 5001. You can add environment variables to a configuration file specific for Pm2. However, I will not show that, but it's an easy task if you want to read up on that on the documentation. So we will start. What will we start? We will start up npm. I will give it a name. I will give it express app :5001, and then / and start. So this indicates that it's the start script in npm that we want to execute. When we do that, and now we can see that the express app is running. If we do a pm2 log, we can see that the example app is listening at port 5001. Node env is set to production. Still works. Go to the error page. Oh, if we do log like this, then we see the error that actually occurred. And of course, we could have thrown an error or have some kind of description of what went wrong in this case. So now we can leave the server. Pm2 will take care and make sure that the app is up and running all the time. It will reload it if it goes down. If you reboot the server, Pm2 will automatically start up the application once it's up and running again. So it's quite a simple but very powerful tool to just add our files to production or add our application to production. There are more things that you can do. If I were to start, I can start the same application on multiple ports. So if we start the application of 5002, Pm2 start, I will just start the app.js. You can add the flag if I remember correctly, yeah, and you can say that I would like to start this application in 4 instances. And now it enters cluster mode. So what this means is that we have a built-in load balancer that actually started up no less than 4 of those applications, running them in cluster mode, and so that if one application is cluttered, if the main thread of app 1 is cluttered, then we have still 2 more or 3 more applications that could be utilized. So that could actually be a good thing. You could also do, let's see, if I start it like, do I need to stop those? Let's try. If I set -1, yeah. We do a stop. Wonder if I can do like that. I haven't tried that. Nope. Do I need to stop them one by one? Could have deleted them as well. If we do a Pm2 Start app.js -i -1, then it will automatically look at the hardware on this machine, starting up the appropriate number of applications that are optimized for this environment. In this case, it's set 4. I'm not sure if that is why, because I just stopped them, or but well, it should work at least. So now we have a mean of putting our applications to production. Please remember 2 things: to specify the port, and as I said, I think it's actually a good thing to do this as well, so it's easy for you to see what port it's running on. And install the when you do an npm install, remember the production flag, so that you only get dependencies that are crucial for executing this application in production environment, and also add the node env production if you haven't. So in our case, we did that in the package JSON. So good luck with this.